Alright, our first topic is percent. The definition of percent, remember, is going to be the part divided by the whole times 100. Okay? So, you could also do ratios, and you could say the part divided by the whole is equal to some unknown divided by 100. Because per, remember, means divided, and cent is going to be 100. So what you're looking for is for every 100. Okay? So let's take an example. If I have some roses, suppose I have 10 red roses, 15 pink roses, 25 yellow roses, and let's say 5 purple roses. Okay? And I want to know what percent is red. So if we follow our definition, and that is part divided by the whole, then we need to determine the whole number of roses. So the whole, meaning the total, would be basically 30, 40, 55. We have 55 roses total. Okay? And if I want to know what the percent is, so we know that percent is going to be equal to, we know it's 10 red roses, okay, divided by the 55 roses times 100%. Okay? Now when we do this, when you put it in your calculator, bear in mind, you're not going to use a percent function. You're just going to take 10 divided by 55 times 100. And you're going to get something like 18.18 continues percent. Okay? And then we want the 18%. Okay? Red roses. Alright? So that's how we can use a percent. We can just calculate it. Now, another way we can use percent is this way. In LA County, we pay 12.5% sales tax. Okay, so how much tax will we pay change color on here for, let's say, a $1,025 purchase. Okay? And we can do it in 2 or more ways, but let me show you how we can do this. First, we can say, if we use this, we can say that we know that percent is equal to part over whole times 100%. And we know from what we're given, this is equal to 12.5%. And we are given the whole, which is 1,025. So if we plug in those numbers, 12.5% is equal to some unknown, which is the tax we pay, okay, divided by 1,025 times 100%. So now if we solve for x, it's going to be equal to 12.5 divided by 100 times the 1,025. Okay? So the amount of tax we pay is going to be equal to $128.125, and that's three significant figures, so we'll stop here. 128. Okay, so that's one way we can do this. But is there another way? And the other way is use the equivalent ratios. Okay, so if we use the equivalent ratios, then what would happen? We could say that this means 12.5. Let me just do the other side. That's pretty quick. Let me see if I can find a different ink. So we can say part, which is what we're looking for, divided by the whole, which is 1,025, is equal to, and we use this ratio, we know it's 12.5 for every 100, because that's this ratio. And again, what we want to know is the part and again you get 128. Is there another way? And I think there is. Actually, I know there is. And that is, we'll just convert. If we're looking for part over whole, then we'll just convert this to a fraction. We just say the whole times the fraction, the percent, is going to be equal to our part. Okay, so that means 1,025 times 0.125, we convert my percentage to a fraction, a decimal fraction, and that gives me the part. Okay, and again you're going to get your $128. Alright, so what you need to do is you need to make sure you understand how this works, and then apply the best technique that works for you. Okay, now what else can we do with percent? So let me just go ahead and we'll do a mass percent problem. And what does it mean when we talk about mass percent? So if we see something like mass percent, is this any different than these definitions? And the answer is no. What it means is that our part and the whole okay, are given in as masses. Okay, so your units would be grams, kilograms, okay, milligrams, etc. They're all in terms of masses. The other thing to bear in mind, that whenever you look at your units for the parts and the whole, They both must be given in the same units. Okay? So what that means is if one is given as grams and the other is in kilograms, you're going to have to convert. Okay? Because percent is unitless. So let's see if we can do a problem here. Find the markers that still have ink to it. Okay. So let's say the mass percent of, let's say, copper in copper. Let's see which one do I want to use. Let's do copper. Let's do copper 1 sulfide. 1 sulfide. Okay. And the formula looks like this. Okay. Is, let's see. All right. And $79.89%. Okay, so how many grams of the copper 1 sulfide is needed to provide 126.2 grams of copper. Okay, so how do we approach this? Well, what do we have? We have the percentage. Okay, so we know we have this part, and we know this is the part, and what we're looking for is the whole. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and use the ratios to solve this one. Can you use your formula? Absolutely, but I'm going to just use the ratios today. Okay, so we're looking for we have the part. Okay, we're looking for the whole. So I'm going to put X down here. Okay, and we know it's 79.89, okay, divided by 100, because this is my percent, so that fits right here. Okay, so now all we have to do is solve for X. So multiply both sides by X. Okay, and then I'm going to multiply both sides by 100, divide by 79.89. So 126.2 grams, 100 over 79.89. Now this is exact. This is part of my definition of percent. This is 4 sig figs. This is 4 significant figures. So we're going to give our answer in 4 significant figures. And in this case, notice I have units because we're looking for the whole, and it should have units of grams. Okay, so 126.2 times 100 divided by 79.89. Okay, and I get 157.96 grams, so 158.0 grams. Alright, so that's how we use percent.